Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. This is the 75th episode of Let the Women Tell It. And this one is special to me because it has a Black woman standing up in her pride about her Black man, which is something that's really spoken about, especially in social media these days. It's usually attack, misandry, and there's nothing that made it more prevalent than this particular election because there's a plethora of Black men who refuse to vote for Kamala Harris. And it's really about her policies and how destructive and degenerate a lot of them are. So, but they're being chalked up like from Obama as if men just don't want to vote for a woman, when Black men historically have overwhelmingly supported women. Matter of fact, to a fault and to the detriment of the community. And then also, then to hear some pseudo Black woman come out and call Black men crazy and ridiculous and all kinds of stuff on national TV, showing her misandry and her hatred for the brothers. So it was nice to hear a woman like Nina come out and say what she said, and she's going to put a lot of it even in the historical context. So without further ado, for me, we're going to let the woman tell it and let Nina break it down for you. Stay tuned.
The View, one of the hosts, Sunny, was in discussion with her colleagues around the table about what needs to happen during this 2024 presidential election cycle.
When we're looking at these polls and we're looking at who is voting for Trump, you've got 53% of white women that voted for him in 2020. We've got to reach those women. We've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy Black men that did vote for Trump. We've got to reach those people. We've got to reach the Cuban men in Miami that overwhelmingly voted for Trump.
So she talked about the women and the Hispanic men. But when it was time to talk about Black men, she called them the crazy, ridiculous Black men. Yeah, you heard me right. The crazy, ridiculous Black men is truly outrageous. And in fact, it is dangerous. And there are connective tissues to how Black American men have been treated historically in this country. In other words, this moment from President Barack Obama giving a stern lecturing to Black men to Sunny on ABC's The View, mainstream media referring to Black men as both crazy and ridiculous. Now, family, I want us to back up a little bit. And I want you to understand where I am coming from, even if you might not necessarily agree with the points that I am about to make. Black men in particular, and the Black community generally speaking, meaning Black men and Black women, there is historical context to the way that Black men are being singled out more than any other group. Black men are being villainized during this election cycle for reasons that I cannot wrap my mind around. And I'm not even going to try because it is wrong. Black men are the most progressive male voting bloc in the United States of America. In 2016, over 81% of Black men gave Secretary Clinton their vote. Over 81%. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ledger, white men only 32%. So why is it that folks are trying to browbeat Black men when it is empirically unwarranted, but yet folks feel very comfortable in doing it? You know why? Because it is rooted in a historical context in this country that makes it very easy and very clear that Black men can be beaten down in this society politically, socially, economically, and nobody even gives it a second thought. Now, the people who are saying these things, some people understand that historical context, and some people might not necessarily understand that historical context. It is a public lashing of Black men. And even some in the media have said that President Obama did not go far enough in his chastisement of Black men. And I simply don't understand that, because what else should President Obama have done making reference to Black men and how they will vote during this election cycle? I mean, should Black men be taken out and literally beaten? We must think about these things. And those of us who have cachet or have greater influence must think about these things in a deeper way. Black men in any election cycle, 2024 included, have the right to choose the candidate or candidates that they want to vote for without being vilified, chastised, told what to do, and more importantly, being called crazy and ridiculous. Just as any other voting bloc, be they women, white, Black, Hispanic, Asian, Arab, or other, be they men, Black, white, Arab, Asian, or any other identifying quality, those various voting blocs have a right in the United States of America, at least that's what we say, to vote the way they want to vote. So ask yourselves, why are Black men being treated differently from others? And more importantly, why do people of title, of high title, high influence, or not so much of a big title, maybe not so much influence, but feel incredibly comfortable calling out Black men only? Ask yourself that. It really is about our construction and how we are socialized in this country. My last point on this for this moment is that the tearing down of Black men is ultimately the tearing down of the Black community writ large. There is no separation between Black men and Black women when it comes to liberation. And while others may be ignorant to that fact, others may be doing this fully cognizant of what they are attempting to do, it is wrong and it hurts the Black community. So stop tearing down Black men. Stop calling them crazy and ridiculous. And for the love of God, stop trying to take away their autonomy and stop sowing seeds of discord within the Black community. Can we do that during this election cycle? Can we please do that during this time? Black men, I want you to know that you are loved, you are respected, and you are appreciated beyond this election cycle. And no matter how you choose to vote, I'm just baffled that we have to say this in 2024, in the 2020, in the 21st century, that Black men, like any other demographic, have the right to make up their mind however they choose without being torn down. Again, Black men, you are loved, you are respected, and you are appreciated.
Very good. That was nice. She was on point. I agree with everything she said. And listen, we're going to take it to heart because this election cycle, win, lose, or draw, many of us are not going to vote for Kamala Harris, no matter how much shame and tactics are being used. She's not right for the country. She's not right for anybody. It's not because she's a woman. That's been dispelled by many a times over. I think the same men who won't vote for her will flock to vote for Tulsi Gabbard. Anyway, our pain, marriage, politics, and sports. Over and out.